that day mamangu ananiambianga the doctor was going for lunch. So akamwambia huyu mtoto sioni akiishi. Nikitoka lunch akuwe high, then you have a child.
Wow. Hello, my good people. Thank you for tuning in to Kenya Young Journalists, and welcome to this another episode where with me I have Esther Hadassah. Esther Hadassah, who calls herself beautifully scarred, has undergone through a lot. I tell you, a lot of scars, because she got burnt at the age of 3 years, and again she got a child out of marriage, and yeah, she has gone through a lot, but guess what? She has managed to overcome all that, to accept herself, and she is now impacting a lot of people because of her new self. So welcome, watch to the end, and also share with your friends and family to encourage other people who might also have the same or different scars. Thank you so much. Watch to the end, and if you have not subscribed, kindly do so. My name is Lynn Nyawera. Thank you so much, Esther. We are glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Yeah, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
So I'm Esther Hadassah, and my ID name is Esther Kideunzioka. I'm a secretary at Innovas Group. I work here in Mombasa. And yes.
Wow, welcome so much. We are happy
you.
to have you here, and yeah, we are ready for you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I know many will be inspired by your story.
Amen.
And yeah, this beautiful lady here, you have a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, so where was Hadassah born?
Hadassah was born in Mombasa in a family of 7. We are 4 ladies and 3 boys.
Okay.
Yeah, this is where I was born in.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, and yeah, you tell us about your background.
Sure. Nimezaliwa kutoka kwa familia ya Wakristo.
Okay.
And so growing up, I just found myself in a very good family.
Yes.
My dad being a pastor, and of course my mom, if my dad is a pastor, my mom also.
Yeah.
And so yeah, coming from that background, I grew up knowing God, and you know, even though kuokoka huwa ni baadaye, but I grew up in that setup of Christianity and knowing God, you know. And so yeah, that's the kind of the family that I am coming from.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow, so family-wise, you are okay? You didn't encounter any challenges?
No challenges at all.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, so now how about your schooling? How was it?
Now schooling, I began saying that we were born in Mombasa, but sasa time ya kwenda shule, we went home, Ukambani. I come from Machakos County.
Yes.
So that's where we all went. Each one of us, we went and studied at home.
Yeah.
So nilisomea primary, shule inaitwa Katanga Primary. I know many of my viewers, my classmates, and nikatoka primary school, nikaenda secondary school pia in Machakos County.
Okay.
So all my schooling has been up country.
Up country?
Yes.
Yes, and now being brought up as a pastor's kid,
yes,
because nowadays people are like, a pastor's kid, they are the expectations that the society has raised. Yeah, were there any challenges you encountered?
Lynn, the challenges are so many. Because, you know, when you find yourself like ourselves, finding ourselves as watoto wa pastor, first I hated the name mtoto wa pastor.
Okay.
And I remember one day, nilikuwa tu mtaani. Now it's after school, you know.
Yeah.
And I went to the shop, and a guy comes and he's like, "We mtoto wa pastor." I remember looking at him and telling him, kama ujui jina yangu, usinitajie pastor. Okay. You know, that's how bad it was then. So growing up as a pastor's kid, kuna expectations nyingi, like munaekewa, you should behave like this, you should wear clothes like this, you should speak like this, you should be in church kutoka Monday hadi Sunday. So the challenges are too many. And you see, we are kids like any other child. Our dad being a pastor does not make us pastors. So we have our own life. Exactly. So growing up, kulikuwa na hizo expectations. Unapata ukiingia church, people are looking like, kwa nini leo uimbi kwaya? Kwa nini leo umevaa skirt fupi? You know, kuna hizo expectations. So that was the kind of life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why did you like hate the name being a pastor's kid?
I think hizo restrictions nyingi, that's what made us like feel bored.
Okay.
You know, growing up like toka mtoto, it's Sunday school, and I'm not saying it's bad, but kuna hiyo, there's that pressure you find yourself in, and you're like, no, this is not the kind of life I want. And especially if you're an outgoing person. So, because church, most of the time tunaona church, it's like place tumefungiwa, hakuna any prison, like unaona watu wanafanya mahepi huko nje, you should not do those kind of things. So sasa unapata hiyo pressure inatokea, like it's not really we want to hate it, but vile people are taking it to look like. Yani tunaifanya, we are making hiyo kuwa a pastor's kid like it's a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
So those are the things that would make many of watoto wa mapastors wajipate kwa hizo situations, like we don't, hatutaki kuitwa, we want to be in hiding. Like actually I remember growing up, sometimes I would say, I wish my parents were not pastors. Like it was overwhelming to me, like it, yani nilikuwa na feel it's too much on us. Dad would expect us tukue kanisani. My dad was growing up, was very strict, a very strict pastor. Actually anajulikana kabisa na waumini. It was so tough. Right now, at least najua ataangalia, but then it was so, him kukuwa mkali pia iliongezea, yani the feeling. The feeling like I don't want this thing. Ni mkali, like akikupata kwa nyumba ni time ya prayers, what are you doing here? Unaona? So that would be something that hata saa inaweza kuambia, like if your parent is, or if you are a parent and you are a minister, or usikue mkali sana kwa watoto, and don't make church like wafanye, you are a pastor, so you're making these kids like wakuwe sasa na wao ni kamba pastors. Exactly.
So like they should treat their kids as other kids.
Exactly.
They give them the chance to be who they are.
Kabisa they should.
I think those who are watching us have noted that. And so how are you able to overcome? How did you handle it, by the way? I
think slowly with time ilifikia mahali, of course, living my own life, ilifikia place, and like I normally say it's good to know God for yourself. Allow your children to know God for themselves.
Wow, that's so powerful.
So ilifikia mali, I had done, sasa zile vitu nilikuwa nakatazwa, nilikuwa like I have explored. And then nikafika place, I'm feeling, no, this is not my life. I feel there's something else I should be doing. And so now realizing that I need God. I need to know God for myself, not my dad. Amenihubiria, it's okay. The decision is on me. So nilikuja tu ikafika mahali, and I decided to get saved. And so I think that is what that helped me, and I was like, I think actually I'm cool being a pastor's kid. You know, I began to enjoy hizo services. Nilikuwa naambiwa niende from Monday to Sunday. Nowadays I do it without anyone. Hata yeye mwenyewe, I'm sure pale huwa anasema yenyewe, my daughter, this is what I wanted her to do. And now it comes naturally. After that realization that I need God for myself. Yes.
Wow. So by the way, what can you advise maybe parents out there who are like forcing themselves on children? You have to wake up at 6, you have to go to church, you have to do this, and they are not allowing the children to be themselves, by the way, to know God for themselves. What is your one word to them?
So what I would tell them, it's okay to tell them about God, but don't decide for them. Waache, wahubirie, waambie, but ukishawahubiria achana na wao. It's their decision. It's their decisions to make. So parents who are ministers and pastors, don't force your children to be pastors, to be evangelists, to be, wewe hubiria mtoto and let that child aamue yeye mwenyewe. Itafika a time that person ama that child ataamua yeye mwenyewe. So, and keep on praying for them. Keep on praying for your children. You should never give up. Praying for your children.
Wow, that's so amazing. And now let us come now that you have grown up as a pastor's kid. Now you're finished school. It's adapting now to the environment. How was it for you?
Now actually after school, that's when you realize sasa hapa niko kwa ulimwengu. Ile ulimwengu unasikianga watu wanasema ukikosa kufunzwa na mamako utafunzwa na ulimwengu
kabisa.
So unatoka shule and you find dunia sasa imekungojea. And let me tell you, it's not easy, Lynn. It's not easy because, as I said earlier, ya kwamba people expect a lot from you. And I hated, nearly hate the fact that I could not do some things because it's not because I don't want to do them. But nilikuwa sifanyi kwa sababu nasema watasema nini? Mimi ni mtoto wa pastor.
By the way.
So watasema nini? So most of the things I will not do because sikuwa nataka kufanya. Sitafanya because one, my dad is a bishop, is a pastor, is a pastor. Na sasa watu watakuwa wanauliza msichana wa pastor kwa nini so kwani why is she doing like this? Kwanza pastor anasema watu wakuje maombi. Wake wako wapi? You know. So hizo ni challenges zenye sasa unatoka shule and now washirika wamejua msichana wa pastor amemaliza shule, yuko around, na kuna pia mafisi pia huku nje wenye wanasema huyu wa pastor lazima you know. So kuna challenges ni mob. Zilikuwa mob na ni mob kwa wengine wenye pia ni pastors kids and they are growing up and they are just trying to find themselves. So the challenges are many.
So tell us now how your experience was, how you were able to adapt finally. And
as also I had said earlier, sasa kuadapt ni kuja sasa like you say, you know, you're living this life for myself. Because sasa kila siku itakuwa tu ni watu. And pia sasa accepting that I'm a pastor's kid, as I said, ni hiyo sasa kukubali that God, I want you na kutaka wewe. And by the way, what helped now, I got myself to church fully. Nikaingia choir, nikaingia praise and worship. And I enjoy singing. So hapo ndio nilimejor myself so much.
And sasa tueleze sasa kutoka hapo, how did it happen sasa ukakuja pia kuwa na mtoi or something?
I have a son. He's 7 years old. He's a very social, by the way, he has a good voice. He's only 7 years. And he's amazing. So mtoto wangu, I came to get him in my mid-20s. And I remember getting pregnant and I'm like, I'm done. Like, this is it. Hii ni ngumu. Because now where do you start?
Were you still at home or?
Yes, I was still at home. Now I'm living with my parents and we are living in church. So you can imagine our home is just next to the church. Sasa I'm like, my mind, I was so confused. I was so confused and I was so shocked. What will I do? Sasa nilikuwa hapo kwa hiyo mix, nitoroke ama ningoje niambie baba. Na I told you my dad was alikuwa mkali sana. So nilikuwa nashangaa sasa huyu baba nitaanzia wapi? Si atanifukuza. Si nikimbie tu kabla anifukuze.
Sasa hii story ilitokea in the midst of adapting from the school now to the outside.
Not really, because I had stayed some miaka nje. Nilikuwa nimekaa. I was now
grown up.
Grown up. So sasa it may happen and I'm like, okay, I'm still living with my parents. Sasa itafanyika nini? And I remember telling one of my sisters, my younger sister, anaitwa Jen, she will watch. And I remember her telling me, itabidi tu utoroke. You know, she was like, itabidi tu utoroke juu dada akijua wewe. Maze, it's better tu utoroke tu mapema. But something else was telling me don't. Kwa sasa natoroka niende wapi? Sasa mimi nitatoroka niende wapi? So, and I remember telling my mom was not happy at all. Kwanza I remember her telling me, unajua kule nyumbani bara, like she had this group of ladies. Now after kujua nimeokoka, ujue nilikuwa msichana
wa kanisa.
Sasa before nilikuwa msichana wa kanisa, hiyo period nimetoka shuleni nilikuwa mtoro. Mimi by the way nilikuwa tu hapo tu. Okay, utoro wangu you not see it like she's a bad girl. Yangu ilikuwa tu ile tu niko tu hapo na hepanga, dadi akienda mahali na hepa na narudi. So zangu zilikuwa hizo. So I remember mom telling me, sasa unawezaje kufanya kitu kama hii? Mimi nimekusanya na mama kule wamekuwa wakikuombea kutoka useme umeokoka. Sasa sasa nitarudi kwa mama niwaambie nini? And I felt my mom. I saw she was broken. And nilikuwa hapo sasa nashangaa sasa yenyewe this woman amenipatia point, sasa yenyewe atafanya nini? So I remember now when nilipomwambia what she told me, because I expected my mom to tell my dad, but she said, you're the one who will tell your dad yourself. Lynn, huyo mzee mkali nitaanzia wapi? Ati uko na nini? Aje na nani yuko wapi? Yeah, so one day I couldn't sleep. Nikifigure out nitaambia babangu vipi. So nikatoka kwa kitanda nikalala kwa kiti. I'm thinking nitaanza vipi, and I remember I think it was around midnight that day. Mamangu akanisikia kwa sitting room. Ambia unafanya nini hapa? Ngambia nataka kuambia. No, actually she told me leo ndo naambia babako kwa uko na mimba. Saa 6 around, huwa nakumbuka ilikuwa around saa 6 ya usiku. Na mama akasema leo lazima umwambie. Hatuwezi kukaa hapa hajui na atakuja kuniuliza kwa nini sikusema. So tunamwamsha. So I got some courage and I told her sawa, muamshe. So my dad akaamshwa. Alifikiri mimi ni mgonjwa. Anambia shida iko wapi? Anambia I tell you Lynn, that day nilikuwa kama mtoto mdogo. Nilijieleza kama mtoto wa kindergarten. Anambia daddy, unajua nilikutana na kijana. Sasa unajua ameanza kusikia kijana usiku, kijana ametoka. What is happening? You guys, who is sick? Sasa kijana So my dad funny alisikiza hiyo story, nikamwelezea how it happened. Nilieleza kama mtoto mdogo vile nilitongozwa na nikaingiana box and now I'm pregnant. And I remember my dad aliniangalia na akaniambia now I expected him. Kumbuka tuna expect nifukuzwe. But my dad was so composed. Akaniambia sasa huyo mtoto anakuja inamaanisha it's responsibility. So ni ujipange, ujue sasa kuna mtu mwingine anakuja. And that was it. Dad akarudi akaenda kulala. And I remember doing like
thank you.
And my sister asking me, ulimwambia uko wapi kwanza au kufukuzwa? Yeah, so that's the part of my like me telling my mom and my dad.
Wow.
Yes.
That was so good. At least he understood by the way. Yeah.
True. And I normally huwa nashukuru Mungu sana. And actually I will tell parents like it's true, it's hurting, especially angalia like my dad. And I'm not saying just pastors, even for any other parent. They don't expect their children ama their girls to afike mahali hajaolewa and amepata mtoto. But I would really ask parents, msichana akikujia kwambie this is what has happened, don't chase that person away. Don't chase your child away. Because angekuwa na mali pa kwenda angeenda. Ningekuwa na mali pa kwenda siningeenda hata singesema. But the fact that that child amekuja akakwambia, embrace them. Maana unaweza kumfukuza na aende afanyikiwe na kitu mbaya. Yeah,
sasa hii time yote baba mtoto where was he?
Sasa baba mtoto tu alikuwa umumu, alikuwa tu umumu. And I remember one day telling him, nikimwambia unajua niko na mimba. And I expected him akatae maybe. And the guy by the way was very cool and collected. He's like, okay, haina shida. Now the problem is he was not in Mombasa. Alikuwa Nairobi. So nilipomwambia hivyo akaniambia it's okay, just keep the child. So that was a relief. The only problem is that hakuwa karibu anisaidie. Remember now niko kwetu napiga mahesabu, and then I remember nilikuwa nafanya kazi side ya Nyali. So I'm imagining kwanza hapa niko kwetu, hapa ni kanisani. So pressure ya washirika. Pressure ya mtaani, msichana wa pastor finally ameshika mimba. So like I really wanted akuwe hapa ndo at least atanisaidia kama nitahama tuhame, you know.
Exactly.
So he wasn't around. And I remember God, by the way, Lynn, kama ushaisikia God ustumanga angels. Kuna angels kwa hii dunia. And I hope he will listen to this one. I don't know if I will not sitataja majina kwa sasa. But he was my friend, and I remember this friend of mine nikimwelezea what has happened, and he was a he. Akaniambia, by the way, itakuwa challenge sana, wewe ni msichana wa pastor. Sasa kukaa hapo itakuwa ngumu na itakupatia stress. And it's true, tayari being pregnant ilikuwa imeshanipatia stress. Nitaanzia wapi? So I remember him, God alimtumia, and he told me I will help you. Kumbuka babake mtoto hayuko karibu, and he was in a situation that I will not discuss here, but angeweza kunisaidia at that time. So I remember this friend coming in and akaniambia, enda utafute nyumba. I will pay. This is a life that I'm beginning afresh. Kitu sijawahi fanya. So God sent this angel. Na alisimamia kila kitu, by the way. Nilitafuta nyumba. I didn't look tafuta nyumba anywhere. Nilienda kutafuta Nyali kwenye nilikuwa nafanya kazi. It was such a miracle. I tell you, God, like, and let me tell you what this made me. Like later niliambia God, enyewe God, still ulikuwa na plan yako hukutaka ikatike juu ya maisha yangu because I had messed up. Because God hangetaka kweli, maybe hangetaka kunisaidia, angenisaidia, but he sent someone. He understood me. Na akaamua to take responsibility of tafuta nyumba. He furnished the house. He paid for delivery hizo. That guy did everything. I tell you, mimi nakanga nasemanga, God, kama ulitumanga angel hiyo time, even now that I'm serving you, God, you are able to send an angel. So that's how God alinitoa. I think God aliona huyu msichana akikaa kwa hii mtaa, she will be broken to many pieces. So akasema nitamtoa vile alitoa Abrahamu. Me, God aliniandalia Canaan. So I lived in Nyali, I worked in Nyali. Like pale walikuwa wameniajiri, walikuwa wanashangaa, huyu msichana si tunamlipa hii pesa, anatoa pesa wapi ya kurent nyumba? I remember even I tell you, I remember some people thought kwanza nimepata kambaba. And my friend, by the way, he was very young, he was very single then. He was my marafiki, unajua. So people thought amepata kambaba, huyu ni kambaba utaenda. You know.
I understand.
So that's how God sent someone, and that's how I survived during my pregnancy until nikamzaa mtoto wangu.
That's such a powerful testimony, because like at this time you were down, depressed, and you didn't know what to do, by the way. But you see, God's ways are not our ways.
True.
He came through for you at your lowest moment.
I tell you.
Wow. We thank God for
Amen.
that. That's a testimony, and I believe even the one who is watching us out there, and maybe they are going through a situation, they don't know where to start, what to do. Keep on trusting God. He has a way out for you in that situation.
So true.
Yes. So now tell us, beautifully scarred. Yes, beautifully scarred. Where did it all start?
So beautifully scarred, it's something that came to me. Like I feel like God put it in me. And of course soon we had talked like soon I will be launching it or having a YouTube channel, and it will be called Beautifully Scarred. Ambayo will be like embracing scars, any kind of scars. So that's how it came from my own scars.
Your own scars.
Yes.
Of which you have not yet tapped to them.
Oh yes.
So tell us, tell us the whole story now about your scars.
Yes.
Because how it all started.
Yes. So nikiwa mdogo I burnt, ama nilichomeka nikiwa mdogo, and I was only 3 years old. And this is a story that my mom sometimes akisema huwa analia, because yeye ndo anaweza kusema exactly what she saw and all that. But I burnt at 3 years old, na nilichomeka kichwa, nikachomeka mkono, nikachomeka some part of my back. And it when it happened, of course I was 3 years old, so singekumbuka. Singekumbuka, but how it happened, mom says nilikuwa nacheza jikoni. Na jikoni kulikuwa na kitanda ya mfanyikazi. So either nilitoka kwa kitanda nikakuja kwa moto, ama vile wanasema nilitoka kwa hiyo the godoro slid.
Yeah.
Nikicheza ili slide ikatoka kwa kitanda. So I fell. Na ile maji alikuwa anataka kupika chai. Alikuwa ametoka kazini. Chai ya saa 10.
Yeah.
Sasa amebandika kwa stove.
Wow.
And in an instantly mama ametoka tu kwa kitchen, sijui alikuwa ameenda kuchukua nini. Alitolewa huko na kelele za ile stove yake na sufuria. And either I was crying, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anasema alipata nimepiga hiyo sufuria, ilikuwa na maji inachemka, and niko hapo kwa hiyo maji. Either tulikuwa tunatokota sote ama
what?
Yes.
Hey, okay.
That's how the scars came about.
The scars came about. And you are, what age are you?
I was 3 years old.
3 years.
I was 3 years old.
Okay.
I was rushed to the hospital, and mamu ananiambia nilikaa hapo almost 3 months. It was a deep scar.
Yeah.
It was a deep wound. Na haikuwa rahisi.
Okay.
Haikuwa rahisi kabisa. Because nakumbuka mama akiniambia actually at the end of it ilibidi watu wa kanisani sasa waombe.
Yeah.
Because ilikuwa like this one hakuna. Huyu she's gone.
Yeah.
She's like really gone.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have the courage maybe to some of our viewers.
They're like they want to see.
Where are these beautiful ladies? They can't understand.
Where are these cars?
Where are they coming from? Mama hapa Lina ametuletea story yenye ni mchezo.
So yes, Lynn, I think I have the courage to show our viewers.
Yeah.
Ndio kuna mwingine pia anaweza kuwa maybe utanishikia
Yes.
anaweza kuwa pia anapitia this kind of thing and anashangaa itakuwa vipi.
Yeah.
So let us show our viewers.
Yes. Wow, thank you so much for the courage.
Thank you. So hivyo ndo nilichomeka, na pia kwa mkono hapa.
Wow.
Nilichomeka. So those are the scars. And yeah. So na kwa shingo hapa kwa shingo, many people by the way nikitembea wengine wananzanga, dada nani alikuwa anataka kunyonga? So I really get funny comments, and you know. So hii haikuwa kunyongwa. Sasa nilipochomeka, actually the doctor was like, and told my mom, huyu mtoto wale amefikia. That day mamangu ananiambianga the doctor was going for lunch. So akamwambia huyu mtoto sioni akiishi. Nikitoka lunch akuwe high, then you have a child. Wow. So ilikuwa that bad.
Yeah, so ilikuwa that yani yenye
ilikuwa to the end. Ilikuwa to the end. Cause sasa mama anasema hapo walinioperate, waliweka pipes. Siku anaweza kukula maana kichwa imefura. So walikata hapa and pipes zilikuwa zinapeleka chakula kwa tumbo. So that's how bad it was. The devil was on me.
That means you have a greater thing in you.
Amen. And I believe so too.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the healing process now. Hey, how did it go?
Now, so the healing process, sasa hii ya kutoka hospitali, because I can't remember, that's normally a part my mom can. But now myself, the scar. So I remember, let me now take you back now, growing with the scars, you know, from school and so growing up and going to school, haikuwa pressure. Si unajua ukiwa mtoto, actually you're not even aware. Unakuja kuwa aware sasa, umeanza kuwa msichana, umeanza kubale, and now you know girls are beautiful, and you know they are beautiful when their hair is there, and you know. So sasa nikiwa primary school, I don't really remember nikiwa na pressure. Actually I think pressure imekuja kwanza hapa nimeanza kufika 7, 8. Because hapo now you're meeting, you're going to other schools, and you know, that time tulikuwa hakuna, huwezi kufunga kitambaa, ni bara. So it's you and your head, you know.
Sure.
So I remember sasa hapo hiyo time, the reactions, you know, of children, watoto ni watoto, they want to touch, maswali nyingi, like you get tired, ulifanya nini, unasikia uchungu mwenye anajaribu kushika kidogo. You know, it was challenging. So after hapo sasa kwa standard 7, 8, sasa nitoke primary school, sasa niende secondary school. And you see Lynn, at least hii primary school, unajua primary school tunasoma miaka mingi. So it's like ukisoma wameanza kwa community, like ushawazoea, they are like your family. Venye sishtuki nikiwa na familia yangu wakiniona washazoea. So now for this 8 years, I'm already used to this. They are even used.
They are your schoolmates, they are your friends.
Imagine, sasa natoka primary, naenda secondary, another new people. Let me tell you, Lynn, hakuna kitu ngumu kama exposing your scars. Una feel like you're naked. Because this is a whole new people. Tena introductions yanze. Tena you see it's like ni kitu inajirepeat sasa. Kile kitu nimekuwa nikifanya all those years trying to tell people what happened. Sasa tumepoa. Now I'm again. So it was haikuwa rahisi. And I remember nikiwa shule, the only place nilikuwa active sana is the CU. I was serving in the CU and that's the only place naweza kusema nilikuwa na at least. But hizi zingine ati tumetoka kwenda kufanya michezo wapi, no, I will not go.
So your self-esteem by the way was affected.
It was affected, and the funny thing, no one knew. Actually, even home, sikumbuki mtu yote akiniuliza, are you okay? You know, tunalelewa kwa families and people just assume you're okay.
You are okay by
yeah, people assume you're okay.
Yes.
So like I was there and nashangaa sasa. This is a whole new, you know, it's a new territory.
Yes.
So it was not easy. Haikuwa rahisi, but still I thank God because I didn't really find zile extreme nini unapata like mtu anakubuli ama apart from me, so what happened and all that. And I think pia I didn't really get bullied because sikuwa najitoa huko nje place. I used to hide myself. Yeah.
Okay.
So in school, that's how like haikuwa rahisi pia.
Yeah, by the way, what can you tell those people who are living with people who are scarred? Maybe not necessarily, but you know, even someone may have gone through an accident. They don't have maybe one leg, one hand. And so how can you tell people when they are handling such people out of your experience? Yeah.
Actually, what I would really let it start from home. Wakue affirmed. Because nimekaa nikasema if my parents, okay, of course they didn't see it a big deal. For them, it was not a big deal. But for parents or siblings, affirm that person. Let her know from home, I'm beautiful. Vile niko. Because let me tell you, kuna hiyo boldness ambayo utapata when the people that are close to you, tayari washa kuonyesha. Ushaiona huwa unasikia watoto wamelelewa, especially wasichana, wajalelewa with a father figure, wanakuanga na hiyo mtu anataka affirmations. So it's good to affirm this kind of, let it begin from home. Wanze kuaffirm, you are beautiful, you are okay with this one leg, you can do it. Let them know like you're not different. Ati sasa kwa sababu umechomeka, you cannot. Do you know, by the way, Lynn, nilikuwa napenda sana kumodel. But sasa I knew, Esther, you cannot model. One, uko mfupi. Two, the scars. Utapeleka hizi scars wapi? Kule watu wanaenda flawless. Nilikuwa nataka sana kazi ya ndege. Wanaitwaje wale those air hostess. But sasa pia unaambiwa kasura. Si unaonanga vile wanakuanga smart and the skin is so. So I love this, but sikuwa na mtu wa kuniambia
you can do it.
Me, I knew lazima ukuwe na flawless skin, usiwe na scar mahali popote. So it is to, if you have this kind of people, affirm them. That you're okay. Wafundishe kujipenda the way they are. Because ukijikataa, that is what you are, and I mean, not really what you are, but hiyo situation uko nayo.
And you cannot change.
And zingine you can't change, you know? So accept yourself. And you know, Lynn, the moment people begin to accept themselves, even people,
others,
the moment I began to see myself beautiful, you know, wacha tu ile kuambiwa tu you're beautiful. Sasa I would feel it true. Yani it's like, I'm beautiful.
Wow. And when was this, by the way, this turning point that you are like, enyewe, this is me now, and I'm going to accept myself the way I am. How did it happen?
So sasa maisha iliendelea. Now nimetoka shule sasa, secondary school. Now let me tell you, by the way, even before I come there. No, umetoka shule. Huko sikuwa na boyfriend, I was a very innocent lady. So sasa nimekuja huku nje unangojewa. Wanaona msichana fulani amekuja, she is beautiful and she's now getting to relationship. Ilikuwa ngumu kwangu kwa sababu I'm afraid ni kweli nimesonga rasta uoni, but ile siku ataona si ataniacha. Yani I thought people wananipenda kwa sababu ya vile nakaa. So yani like it was a struggle kuambia boyfriend, by the way nimechomeka. Actually nakumbuka I would first tell the kama mtu ameonyesha interest kwangu, ningemwambia me by the way niko na scar. Yani naanza kujihurumia, utanikubali. Like it's like namuuliza imagine utanikubali, like wajua nimechomeka, je utanikubali? Imagine it was that bad. And I remember every time I would get to a new relationship na imagine tena nianze kujielezea, nimwambie je utanikubali, because I mean unaweza kutana na mtu na akwambia no, I mean sitaki mtu aina hii. So nikaona it's pressure kila time hii kazi ya kushinda si mtu anipende vile niko. Kama ni kunipenda wewe nipende vile niko. So sasa nikikuja sasa accept, I remember one of my friends aliniita to a youth seminar at Praise Chapel. Na akaniambia, my friend anaitwa Awinja. Akaniambia, Esther, you know what, I want to, nataka ku-invite you come to sing as a guest minister. And I told her, no way. Me kwanza, I've never done that. Kweli I sing in church, praise and worship, but sasa hii guest minister, apana, me I can't. But let me tell you, Lynn, sasa zile Mungu amepanga kitu, huwa amepanga.
Kabisa.
So akasukumana na mimi nikamwambia, by the way, Awinja, me I won't, sitafanya. Ambia Esther, by the way, na mimi ndio sitafuti mtu mwingine, utakuja kuimba. So I remember asking myself, Santa Vanini and all that. So I finally nikakubali. And I remember asking her, nani watakuja kuhubiri? And then akaniambia. And one of the guest speakers was Robert Burale. And I'm like, this guy, nimemuona kwa a certain show alikuwa nayo ya fashion on Citizen TV, wakati na Lilian Muli. And I'm like, sasa ndio kimeumana. Mimi sasa hata huyu mtu huwa namuona kwa TV ati sasa tunaenda kusimama the same stage. So ako pia ikawa kidogo najishuku, but I thank God. So that day, how now I'm coming to how I overcame it. I remember that day nika decide I'll wear a dress. The dress was sleeveless, but of course nimezoea kujifunika. All this time nimezoea kujifunika kabisa.
You have been hiding all through.
I've been hiding. I couldn't wear ati nione tu unaniangalia mkono. No, you should not see me. Actually wengi walikuwa wanashtuka sana nikiwafunulia kichwa, nikamwambia they're like, Esther, we thought it's just kitu kadogo. So I was hiding myself. But nikachoka na hii weather ya Mombasa, every time kuhide na my jacket na my, you know. So I remember that day nikavaa hiyo dress, but I added my coat because nishazoea kufunika. When I added my coat nikaenda kanisani. Nilipofika, I just had in my spirit to remove that coat. I'm like, God, no. Kwanza nikasema hapana, sijasikia Mungu. Kwani watu usikia Mungu aje? Nikasema that can't be God. God, you can't expose me. How? Nana sasa seriously how? Hapana, you can't. And again, remove the coat. So I decided to obey. It was not easy kwenda kwa hiyo altar kusimama na kamkono kangu hapo, but somehow nikapata courage and I told them, by the way, I burnt, nikawaeleza kidogo tu as something small. Na nikawaambia nilichomeka, so this car and I sang, nikaimba. When I finished singing, now I'm coming out from the stage, nikasikia people shouting my name, Esther, go back, Hadassah, go back. So kumbe now the minister who was Robert Burale had say, yani alikuwa ameguswa with that little story. Akasema huyo msichana arudi tena aimbe tena. So now unaona sasa akasema kumbe yako kitu kadogo hivyo. I tell you, and I remember even God spoke to him na ile message alikuwa anataka kuhubiri, hakuhubiri hiyo, alihubiri about scars. And I remember him praying for many people that were struggling with scars and you know, hiding them. And just me standing there and accepting myself. And that's how from that day I believe. I overcome that fear.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, so that was the turning point.
That was the turning point.
Yes.
That was the turning point, I tell you.
Wow. Now, yes. Now, what changed, by the way, now that you have overcome it? What changed in your life?
By the way, I think everything changed because
Wow.
I was so bold. Even I could now post pictures of myself with my bare head without the wigs, and you know, by the way, nilikuwa nikitoa wig naregesha wig. Yani nywele yangu ilikuwa ipumui. Nikitoa, and actually those times kulikuwa wig ilikuwa ni watu wachache. So it was zile weaves za kushona. So nikitoa hiyo naweka ingine. So people will never see, you know. And by the way, even with that said, nakumbuka kwenda salon pia ilikuwa ni changamoto. Kwa sababu unajua hawa wa kutengeneza nywele wengine, they are mean. Kuna mtu utaenda akwambia huyu sitatengeneza. Oh yes. Oh yes. I remember somewhere I went and the lady was like, sasa hii nitatengeneza vipi?
Wow.
Imagine someone. So kulikuwa I would go to a few selected salons. Na nikienda, I would sit like this. This side ndo watu wakiingia, they should not see me. So kwanza tena again I would explain myself. Vile nilikuwa na explain kwa boyfriend, namwambia by the way nimechomeka, please tukienda kwa salon sitaki kuonekana. So like it was, so you can imagine sasa hii kujikubali, it changed everything.
Wow.
From that time I didn't care. I'm coming, see, I mean, you're giving me a service, I'm giving you my money.
Exactly.
My head is none of your business. So I was so bold and courageous. As I said, I began to post my pictures on Nini. And of course unapata comments different. Kuna wale wako like, yeah, Esther, by the way, this is good stuff. Actually women encourage.
Wow.
I've been struggling with this, but hiyo boldness yako, kama you can put yourself out there, I mean, so it was all. It was all.
Yeah, so generally what can you tell people, because like the way you are saying your boyfriend, the salonist, and how can you tell people, by the way, how should they be handling people with scars?
So I would really, people should be, who are human. These things can happen even to you. Usione umefika mahali ukasema now this is
I don't deal with such.
Imagine, nothing can happen to me. Anything can happen to anyone at any time. So if you encounter this kind of people, mimi naweza kuambia watu, ukiona mtu, someone is scarred or disabled or with, yani yuko vile wewe mwenyewe hauko, ama yuko na kasoro fulani, be human. Vile wewe, imagine that was your sister or your brother or your child. Wewe ungesikia vipi? So let us be careful, even your reaction. Unajua naweza kutokezea tu mali nikaona tu vile umereact nikajua hapa tayari hata huyu ashani put off kabisa. You know, so people should be just show kindness. Be kind. Tufundisheni hata watoto. Mtoto akikuja kuambia mama anasoma na msichana amechomeka hivi ama anakaa hivi, teach that child to embrace, to be kind. As maana, where do bullies come from? Wanaanzia hiyo age. Katoto akaambiwi is wrong to do this and that. So it's good, yeyote yule, it might be the saloon, it might be somewhere else, church, umekutana na mtu yuko hivi na hivi, kuwa kind enough to embrace these people.
Wow. Wow. And so, by the way, what are you now looking forward to do?
By the way, I'm looking forward to now begin that my YouTube channel, and we'll be sharing about scars. People are struggling with things. And you know, huwa nasema, it's not a if it's a wound, it's not a scar. Kama bado it's a wound, like bado ni kidonda. A scar is not a wound. A scar ni kitu imepona. Like mine, I can tell you nilikuwa nimechomeka nikiwa 3 years. So a scar is something remind mahali ambapo umetoka, you know. So this channel will be just sharing stories. People are struggling with different things. Even addiction can be your scar. Ulikuwa addicted maybe to masturbation. You've struggled with that thing, you know. Kuna those kind of things. So hapo mahali we will be just sharing about our scars, the things that you've overcome. Na umeovercome vipi? Vile tunaweza kusaidia our society. Our society is ailing. Society yetu iko na watu ambao wanapitia ngumu. People that have been bullied, people that have been wamefichwa. there are mothers who hide their children.
Yeah.
Kwa sababu ni disabled. Ama yuko hivi na hivi.
Exactly.
So that will be a place where we will encourage each other. And kuambia it is okay to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, there is a story you had mentioned earlier, like there is a lady you met in a matatu.
By the way.
Yes, yes.
I remember.
Tell us about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I remember that day nilikuwa naenda kazini.
Yeah.
And that time I was working at Mazeras, past Mazeras.
Yes.
And then nimeingia kwa matatu and a lady comes in akiwa na mtoto mdogo and another young boy.
Yes.
So alipoingia I noticed this young boy alikuwa amechomeka sana. Like the face, yani kalikuwa kamechomeka sana.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at him na nikafeel hiyo compassion. I saw myself. Nilijiona tu hapo. So I took huyu mtoto mmoja nikamshika, nikambeba. And I remember looking at the mother and telling her, usiwahi give up on this child. Usimuone yuko hivi ukafikiri that's it. Maybe hana life. And I remember removing my wig. Na nikamuinulia nikamwambia unaona hii mimi nilichomeka nilikuwa mdogo.
Yeah.
And I remember pia yeye akishtuka asema hata uko unakaa kabisa.
Yeah.
And I told her yeah, because my mom and my dad they didn't give up on me.
Yes.
Wange give up on me wasema hata huyu tutampeleka shule. Sasa huyu baby hata amechomeka kichwa akili ikaribika, you know. So nilipomwambia hivyo I remember she was so happy. Na she told me how she tried to kusaidia mtoto and all that. Nikamwambia God has a plan. Kwanza huyu unaona amechomeka hivi ndio God yuko na plan na yeye.
Wow.
So that's how, and I remember her feeling so happy and so touched.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So you see, you accepting yourself, you are able to change the life of that young boy.
Sure.
Yeah, that's so nice of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So finally, what do you have to tell our audience?
I would like to niambie watu it is okay to have scars. It is okay to actually accepting yourself is the first step.
Yeah.
Ya kwenda mbele.
Yes.
So accept yourself. Kubali, sema this happened to me and I accept myself. When you begin accepting yourself, watu will accept you. Ukianza kujipenda, people will be like, by the way, I mean this person is So begin to accept yourself. Scars si mwisho wako, ulemavu si mwisho wako. Whatever it is that you're struggling with, it's not your end. So accept yourself and then tell God, nionyeshe God, how can I touch another person's life through my story, through my scars. So I'm looking forward to even touch, even even in schools. I think let people, our wasichana, you see, if Lynn nilikuwa prepared even from I said home, but pia shule kukuwa na, let people be educated. Mkiona mtoto anakaa hivi and let them be hata hapo shule. Ambe it's okay, you can do this and that. If cause walimu wange notice kutoka form 1, form 2, form 3, form 4 msichana hajawahi kungekuwa na mtu anaona huyu msichana yuko na shida fulani. You see, so it's also good wakiwa nyumbani, wakiwa shule, let there be people that are concerned. Ukiona mtu, actually if you see someone that is different, akue nini yako, yani like ukue attracted to that person, show them love and begin to push them. Because I believe if it began from na vitu zingine, ningetoka huko nikijua I can do anything.
And you could be far right
kabisa now. Kabisa. So that is what I would advise my viewers. And if you are struggling, see me here and get encouraged.
Yes, and tell them also where they can find you on social media. You
can find me on my Facebook and IG, that is Instagram. I'm Esther Hadassah.
Wow.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we are so glad to have had you here. That was so inspiring of you. Thank you also for accepting to share your story, because not many would have that courage, by the way.
Sure.
Yeah, we thank God for that.
Thank you.
And you are very much welcome at Kenya Young Journalists. I believe many lives will be impacted, and all the best as we look forward to starting that channel and be able to impact more lives.
Amen.
Yes, and now to our viewers, We are so glad and happy for you having watched this video to this end. I believe you have learned, you've been encouraged, and if you have self-esteem issues or you are not accepting the situation or any scar that you have, it is the high time you embrace it, accept yourself, and move forward and be the person that God created you to be. Thank you so much for watching. Lynn Nyawera. If you have not subscribed, kindly do so, and more stories are coming. Thank you so much. Bye bye.